Hi, Soul Family. You're invited to a special episode of the Soul Awakening podcast, Soul Circuitry. The chakra fields and the laws that shape us. Live streaming August 19th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In this journey, we'll explore the chakras as sacred gateways, each one aligned with a universal law, each one inviting us to feel, live, and remember. This is where the energy becomes embodiment, where cosmic truth meets the body. I'll be joined by the luminous Marcus Christolight for this deep, transformative dive. See you in the field. Welcome in, Soul Family. In this spiritual and metaphysical system, the 7 chakra fields are believed to be aligned with the universal laws. Some believe it, some don't. The principles that are governed by the universal laws are both cosmic and human, the human consciousness level. Let's find out today how they collaborate with each other, how they connect with each other. We're going to be starting with the root chakra. The root chakra and the law of survival and the law of divine oneness are believed to be collaboratory energy within and without, all around you. The core principle is about grounding and safety and survival. The root chakra is located at the base of your spine. It's the foundation of the whole chakra system, the base, being grounded. The root chakra is part of our human needs, our shelter, our food, our physical health, our protection or safety, our instinctive ability to survive. And the root chakra is tied to our sense of belonging, whether it's family or a tribe or culture or the earth itself. When the root chakra is balanced, we feel secure, we feel stable, we feel grounded. We trust and feel supported by everything within us and around us as part of our unification with the journey. When it's blocked, we may feel fearful or anxious or unstable or disconnected. We may feel all of this disconnection or unstableness from our body or our present moment. In terms of embodiment, the chakra teaches us to be in our body, to live in our now, and to honor the material world as sacred. Why? Because we're the creator of our material world. Let's talk about the universal law connection, the law of divine oneness, right? The law of divine oneness, as we learned in our past sessions, is a foundational metaphysical principle. It says that everything is interconnected. Every thought, every action, and every being is linked to the whole. From this perspective, nothing exists in isolation. Even our private experiences influence the collective consciousness and vice versa. The root chakra aligns this law, and it represents our deep connection with the earth and everything living, every living being. We're connected to it in one way or another. It's our anchoring point to the physical dimension. We're threefold. We're multidimensional. Where the web of interconnectedness life is most evident is within those chakras that we have. They vibrate so much into us that they vibrate out into the universe to give the universe information about what we want, what we need, what our beingness is, happy or sad, what our beingness is, unhealthy or healthy, what our beingness is. It's always turned on. You're always tuned in. You're always transmitting and receiving. Let's talk about practicing grounding in your root chakra. Such as, everybody's heard it, oh, I take walks. I walk in nature. I spend time tending to my garden. I talk to butterflies. We tend to our physical needs. We begin to reawaken or recall the awareness of our interconnectedness by little things, by watching a butterfly flutter, or by watching birds fly, or watching them soar without moving their wings and being enthralled in it. You begin to see how sacred, if you want to use that word, the ordinary or the mundane is. A balanced chakra allows you to feel that you're not separate, that you're not abandoned, that you're part of a larger intelligent system. Earth, the universe, the source. It teaches you that even in our struggles, the most intense struggles of paying bills or finding a home or healing your body, we are working within and with the universal consciousness. We have the ability to talk to and be heard by the consciousness of the divine. And you might ask, well, how do these two work together? The root chakra offers the experiential, to offer you to experience your foundation, the experiential foundation of the law of one, that everything is whole. You get to experience that. You get to take it in, and the universe, as you're transmitting it out, gets to turn it into form. It says, before you can realize your cosmic unity, you must feel at home in your body. You must feel at home in your body and in your life. Acknowledging your body and your life, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, the difficult and the easy breezy. Only when you feel safe and are rooted in the existence can we begin to grasp the truth about us not just being individuals, but that we are expressions of the one true infinite whole. And with this said, I'm going to invite my guest in, the wonderful Marcus Christolight Robbins. And you know, the chakras are his specialty. So welcome in. Here he comes. Let's give him a hand. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Sandy. Absolutely, it's an honor. And thank you for holding this wonderful podcast series. And I gotta say, it's been an amazing journey just listening in and hearing you talk about these universal laws or principles that can help us with obtaining more of our higher self. And with that, you know, the chakras have been something for me, myself personally, that have really transformed my life as a whole. I know there's a lot of talk about chakras and, you know, anime and cartoons and a lot of spiritual talk about it. But for me, I've really gone through a massive transformation in my life due to becoming aware and learning how to integrate the knowledge of balancing chakras. So, just a little bit to share for myself when it comes to my personal relationship and conscious development with our chakra system. Around, I would say 12 years ago, around 2013, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I had came across and started learning a lot of this knowledge. And I was learning Reiki, chakras, breath work, shamanic healing, as well as other things as well. And during this time period, I was also very much addicted to a lot of substances. That included alcohol, festival, party drugs, coke, molly, even ketamine. And I was doing these different substances probably roughly 4 to 5 days a week, just alternating between them. And during this period, I started learning these practices, and I was also addicted to these patterns in my life. And I was also selling these substances as well. And when I started introducing these practices into my life, such as chakra balancing and meditation, I subtly started seeing some changes in myself where, you know, I became a little bit more grounded. I started to become a little bit more connected spiritually, but I still had my patterns. So that's when I had to learn about shadow work. And that's when I had to learn about reprogramming the subconscious, as well as what the chakras are and how the chakra is related to this well-being of mine. So as I started learning about the chakras and I started learning about guided chakra balance meditations on YouTube, which I still do to this day, which is a key to how I am. I started really getting a deeper understanding of how it is that we could be the self-guide of our own well-being through our chakra system. And long story short, on my journey today, I now do not drink any alcohol. I do not take any party drugs anymore. I do to smoke a little bit of cannabis in a sacred way. And I take a little bit of it comes to the chakra system. And I'm actually going to ask you, did we start going into the root chakra?
Yes, we went into the root chakra. You broke up for a second.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But yes, we started with the root chakra. We started with the root chakra. Yes, we did.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
All right. So we are going to move.
Let me see if I can even
Go
get this
ahead.
on the screen.
Okay.
Wow, this thing's so delayed. Okay. Are we good? Can I continue?
Yes, you can. Please do.
All right, sounds good. So I got the chakras up here on the screen for you guys. And this is a really great picture that you guys can also get as a poster at home. And it literally gives you like every detail you could need to understand what chakras are and how they work. So it says up top, chakra. Chakra means wheel of energy. It is the life force energy called prana. So it's the doorway for a prana to be able to come to the body, basically. And then it talks about on the left, the way that it flows from the side. And it also shows how the chakras basically create these funneling vortexes in the front and the back. And then the energy streams through those vortexes like a snake upwards through the spine. And you guys can see that on the left side as it's showing the side angle of how the energy flows through the chakras. So you got to keep in mind too that this is on a energetic, metaphysical, or etheric level when it comes to the energy of chakras. So we have a physical body, and then we also have a energy body. And then after the energy body, we have an emotional body, a mental body, astral, and beyond. And then with the chakras being a part of the energy body, it's basically our blueprint system or the mapping to our physical matter. And this is where the chakras come in. So the root chakra, as you guys can see, is located at the bottom, the base of the spine. And the color is associated with red. And something about the root chakra is the root chakra is known as our foundation center or our survival center. This is the base to our 7 chakra system or the base to our physicality and physical human life. So with that being said, this is where our stability comes in. This is where our groundedness to the earth takes place. This is also where we are able to feel inner peace, security, connection to abundance of energy and life, as well as feeling like you are safe to be able to express, to create, to be able to live life out of survival mode and fight and flight. So some of the negative things that can, and when I say negative, I mean lower density energy that can take place and basically store into your root chakra, which can then cause blockages and disease. Some of that could look like holding on to fear, holding on to pain, holding on to anger, resentment, as well as scarcity and lack mindset. This is also the center for fight or flight as well. So if we find ourselves in fight or flight mode, or our nervous system is ungrounded, then those are symptoms of having blockages in your root chakra. And then when you balance your root chakra, you're able then to start regulating your system with the earth, because the earth will be connected to you more deeply. And then the mother will regulate your system naturally. So this also connects to your finances, your career, and your connection to material abundance. So that's a little bit about the root chakra, and it is where our prana or our life force energy stores, or you could say the kundalini stays coiled at the base. And then when we get up to the next one, that's where it begins to activate. Back to you.
And the next one, the sacral chakra. It's in alignment with the law of vibration or law of polarity. Blew my mind when I said, ooh, really? This is a powerful relationship because it deals with your emotional body, your creative energy, and how you react to the flow of life. The sacral is about emotions, pleasure, creativity, relationships. The sacral chakra is located just below the navel in the lower abdomen. And it's the center of emotional intelligence, sensuality, creativity, and the human connection. It governs how we experience pleasure, both physical and emotional, how we express emotions. This includes joy, desire, sorrow, vulnerability, passion, and guess what? Dislike or hatred, etc., etc. It is also tied to, yes, I know everybody likes hearing this, sexual energy and reproduction, but not just biologically, but energetically. As the creative force that brings you ideas, relationships, and experiences into the beingness of who you are. In a balanced state, your chakras allow you to have healthy emotional expressions. It helps you to enjoy life. It helps you to be part of your deep emotional intimacy with yourself and with others. And intimacy does not necessarily always mean sexual, though I know that's where you want to go most of the time. It allows for your creative flow. When your sacral chakra is blocked or unbalanced, we might experience emotional numbness, guilt, shame around pleasure, shame around sexuality, shame because of creative blocks, because we're dependent in relationships, or emotional, or have emotional fluctuations or instability in any type of relationship. Let's talk about the law of vibration. Because your sacral is in collaboration with the law of vibration. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe is in constant motion, vibrating at a different frequency. Nothing is truly still. This includes your thoughts, your emotions, the matter in you and around you, and even your soul. Emotions in particular are forms of energy. They're forms of energy in motion. E-motion. Every emotion we feel has a unique vibrational frequency. Love, or universal love, or authentic love, vibrates higher than fear. But it's not that we're not meant to taste fear. We're just not meant to waller in it, stay in it very long. Fear teaches you something, and then it dissipates, or it should. Joy vibrates higher than anger. Doesn't mean we're not supposed to be angry. It means that we get to feel what anger feels like, and we get to strive for something different or more in a different direction. Gratitude shifts us to a whole different frequency of being. Being ungrateful can shift you to a whole different aspect of being as well. The sacral chakra is the internal tuning fork that allows you to feel all these different vibrations, both within yourself and in others. It's your emotional compass and your energy sensor, just like your cars have. It has a compass, a GPS, a sensor. It tells you when you're low on gas. It tells you when you're low on oil. When your sacral chakra is open, you become more attuned to the subtle energy shifts. The shifts in environment and people, in your own creative impulses. You can respond intuitively rather than reacting unconsciously. You have that, you start to learn that you have this, you start to feel, not just learn, but you begin to feel that you have an infinite opportunity of choices. The law of vibration teaches us that we attract what we resonate. By clearing and balancing our chakra or our sacral chakra, we allow ourselves to emit a higher emotional frequency. It turns into magnetized higher vibrations, experiences, expressions, and stories in our life. The sacral chakra teaches you that the creative expressions and emotional honesty are forms of alignment. You're meant to feel all the polarities, higher polarities and lower polarities. And you're meant to shift, grow, expand, evolve, wash, rinse, repeat. You might ask, well, how do they work together? The sacral chakra is the feeling body through which the law of vibration is experienced. Want to hear that again? The sacral chakra is the feeling body through which the law of vibration is experienced. And now listen to the next one, and expressed. When you are emotionally open, ooh, I feel this. Sensually connected and creatively alive, you are vibrating in harmony with life itself. You are letting life show you the dance and then dancing with it. This chakra invites you to ask, what am I feeling? Is this feeling moving or am I stuck? What am I vibrating out into the world, and what is it going to mirror back to me? Exactly. Expansive infection. It makes sense that all emotions are from the sacral. Yes, exactly. By honoring your emotions and your creative energy, you step into resonance with the frequency of the law of vibration. You get to live it and attract it. Wash, rinse, and repeat. So over to our guest, Marcus.
Thank you so much for that share. That was awesome. What are you reading out of?
what I did was I put in everything I wanted to say and express. And then the GPT reworded it for me so I could be more concise. I studied from, I have all these books of universal laws. And then I started diving into, and they started giving me different embodiments. And when it would tell me, Marcus, about the chakras, I went, wait, the chakras and the laws are collaborative counterparts. And can you believe it? Different books, different authors. I'm floored how the divine is speaking to all these different authors and all these different, even I got to slow my roll. I'm starting to babble. I got to slow my roll. Even when you hear songs or writers who are creating lyrics, people who are doing poetry, and you can have 6 different poets, and they have all these words and phrases that are connected to each other. It's the universe having a dance with us. That's our sacral. That's how we get to be tuned in and tapped in. But when we're only looking at it from one aspect, and most people look at it from the aspect of sexual. When you're looking at it from the beingness of everything of who you are, it's your creative experience in life, and you're having a dance with life. And it may be a lower chakra, but the divine gave it to you. Take out the word lower. Don't let lower mean less. It's part of you. Now over to you, Marcus.
That was such a good statement to make, because this English language has gotten so saturated with the diversity that it's now like, what terms mean what they originally mean at this point. So it's like, a lot of us think when we say lower that it has to be associated with something negative. But, lower is just like placement of it. It's in a lower place than what is up here, so to say. And that's like just literally it. It's not meant to be like there's a story attached to it about how to being down here is negative and being up there is better. Yeah, it's so funny when you really think about it. Cosmic humor of the human life, I tell you. So the sacral chakra, we'll go back to our diagram. So the sacral chakra, see on this diagram here. Here we go. So you can see that it's placed right above that red root chakra that we had just went over together. And I'm actually gonna make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Bloop. So when you look at it, you can see the prana, which is labeled right below the root chakra. It has the arrows. It's telling you that it streams up from the earth into your root chakra. And then at the root chakra, this is the first wheel or energy center that begins to touch this prana, or it begins to bring it upwards up the spine. Because if you remember, a moment ago, we looked at the left side of this map here. The left side shows the current of how the prana flows like a snake from the side through the chakra vortexes. So it begins at the red root chakra. You can say that this is where it's coiled. And then when we begin to activate it, it then begins to initiate through the sacral center. So the sacral center, this is, as Sandy talked about, this is where we begin to now have senses. So as a human being, the root chakra, it's like we can say, I am. We are a formation. We are a material form. We are aware of that. And that's it. Then when you get to the sacral, this is where you begin to have senses for things that are outside of you. So this is where you begin to develop relationships. This is where you begin to feel emotional connection and energy. And this is also where you begin to feel sensuality, pleasure, joy, inner child energy. This all begins to begin activated at that sacral center. So with that being said, this is also where we ignite our passion and creativity, and where our inner feminine energy is stored. So something I want to bring up with this, as a holistic practitioner for a number of years now, and coaching and guiding many along the way, one thing that is very beneficial is boundaries. And the reason why we have boundaries is not out of fear. They are created personally through our own self, if necessary, for ways of self-respecting where our energy is, and also upholding our own free will consent to what it is we want to interact with in our energy field. So when I bring up boundaries, especially for the sacral, we got to think about how valuable it is that our creative life force, our prana, our sexual energy that allows us to create, to have vitality, and to feel passion for life. If we are just allowing that to pour into ways that are, damaging to our sexual nature, that are damaging to the ways that we are able to feel good about ourselves, then that's where blockages can start to develop within that sacral center. And when those blockages happen, there are many things that can manifest that, as human beings, a number of us experience. And that could be attracting unhealthy relationships, continuous patterns of either codependency or abuse being brought into our life, as well as having no creative energy and just being burned and take place in this existing free will universe that we're in. When it comes to the sacral, if we are a little bit out of balance and having some unhealthy things happening with this sacral center. So when it comes to healing and balancing the sacral, if we are able to let go of relationships that are not helping us and continuing to bring us into our greatest good, then letting go of those is a way to help bring balance to your sacral. Finding ways to release stored emotions, finding ways to access your inner child and to have fun, move your body, maybe even get the hips moving and dance and listen to music. And also creative flows, music, art, creative expression. These are all ways to help cultivate and work up the energy of your sacral. I will say too, there's a lot of yoga poses that you can use, and you can also reach out to good practitioners like your Reiki practitioner or shamanic healer, and you can do inner child healing or releasing of stored emotions. I will also say that you can even use different foods and crystals as well. So like some of the foods, basically anything orange, like oranges, peaches, apricots, things like that. And then you can use different crystals as green. You can use pyrite, sunstone, and then there's a few others as well. So that's the sacral center, and that's what I got for you guys when it comes to the sacral.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about the solar plexus. Right? You go, oh, we got more? Yeah, we got more. We got 7 chakras. 7 that we speak about often. Okay? So the solar plexus chakra, right? I'm going to let you settle with that. Listen to that again. The solar plexus chakra corresponds, collaborates with the law of correspondence and the law of cause and effect. Blew my mind. It blew my mind learning all of this. But I knew I had to learn it because it was integral in my growth and my dance with the universal life that was being presented to me, the cosmic life that was being presented to me. So the solar plexus is a deeply transformative energy center, and its connection with the law of cause and effect, aka, as you know it, karma, directly speaks to our ability to shape our own lives. To shape our own lives with conscious intention and willpower. Sit with that a minute. Your intention plus your willpower that is energy-based manifest. The solar plexus chakra is located in the upper abdomen, above your belly button or your navel, however you choose to call it. And it's often, or as I was going to say, it's also referred to as the seat of your personal power. The seat of your personal power. It governs your sense of self. It governs your confidence, your will to act, your capacity to make decisions and to direct your life. It makes you responsible for you, or it allows you to be responsible for you. It doesn't make you do anything. It gives you the ability to do it. It presents it to you, and then you get to say yay or nay. So when your solar plexus is balanced, it can help you feel empowered. You can believe in your ability to influence your outcomes. You can be assured that you can trust yourself. You don't have to overly depend on other people or situations or circumstances. You can be motivated. You get to take action instead of be reactionary. You don't have to be undisciplined. You can discipline yourself and you can have clarity. You don't have to wait for somebody to clarify it for you or discipline you. You can see your purposefulness, being purposeful. You get to make choices that align you with your values and your goals, instead of waiting for somebody to decide for you what your goals and your values should be. When it's blocked or unbalanced, you may experience low self-esteem. You may experience doubt or self-doubt, or feeling that you're powerless. You may have control issues, whether it be too controlling or not, or too passive. You may experience feeling anger or shame or being indecisive. The solar plexus refines your raw emotional energy. It refines it from your sacral. It helps focus your intent and your action. It's where passion becomes purposeful doing or creating. So let's talk about cause and effect and how they are collaborators. How the solar plexus and the law of cause and effect, or karma, as aka karma, are collaborators. The law of cause and effect says or states that everything has an action and a reaction, that every effect has a root cause. Nothing happens by chance. Your choice generates a specific outcome. Your choice, my choice, Marcus's choice generates a specific outcome. We're responsible for it. The solar plexus is the energy engine of the causation. It governs how you initially react or how you take action, how you use your free will. The motives behind your action, your intentions, it helps to guide you. It's the engine by which everything moves. Courage can flow through in an aligned decision. You can be courageous in an aligned decision. It's always vibrating. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This may not be for you. A strong solar plexus allows you to own your role to your outcomes. You're responsible for them. It helps you stop blaming external forces, people, situations, circumstances, and start claiming agency over what you create. Because if you claim agency over what you create, you can change it. You can transform it. When your chakra is active, you live less from reaction and more from conscious creation. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You get to recognize that your thoughts lead to feelings. Your feelings inform your action, and your actions generate results. You're responsible for those results. The law of cause and effect invites you to ask, am I acting from fear or confidence? From reaction or from purpose? Your solar plexus gives you the power to choose whether to drift. You get to choose that. How do they work together? Your solar plexus is where the law of cause and effect become personal and practical. The law of cause and effect, or karma, is personal. It's not your knight in shining armor. It's not going to take care of those people that did you wrong because you decided that you're going to direct karma. It's very personal. It doesn't mean that somebody can do you wrong and get away with it, but the law of cause and effect, the personal karma energy is going to make sure that what they put out, they're going to get back because it's a mirror. You don't have to spend time on them. You can spend all the time on you. It's not about, put it this way, it's not about cosmic justice. It's about the creative responsibility you carry every moment of your life. When this chakra is balanced and aligned, you act with clarity and purpose. You stop outsourcing your power to circumstances and other people. You understand that you are the cause, not just the effect, in your creative life story, in your dance with the universe. In this space, willpower becomes a sacred force. Whatever term or definition sacred is for you. But not control. It's about creative alignment. It's about being aligned with the universal law or the universal dance of life for you. Over to you, Marcus.
Oh yeah, climbing the ladder. We're getting brighter and brighter as we climb, accelerating our frequency a little bit. So I'm going to share on the screen for you guys the diagram. Then we're going to talk about this beautiful, radiant, yellow energy center of ours that we call the solar plexus. So when you guys look here on the diagram, continuing, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys. So when you look again, we're now at number 3, which is the one right above the sacral, the orange. And as we can see, the prana comes in and stores at the root chakra. And this is our foundation center. So this is where we develop a foundation to have a physical human experience with a physical body. So it's our survival, our base foundation center. Then we make our way up to the sacral. The sacral is where we now begin to have senses and emotions with interactions with other energies and beings. It's also connected to our creative energy, our sexuality, and our ability to have healthy relationships and emotions. So now we're at what you can also call the Manipura, the solar plexus. If you guys also look to the left here in this diagram, where we are looking at the serpent energy flowing through the vortex of the chakras from the side, you can see that there's a dotted line that goes across where number 3 is. And underneath it, it says physical body. So what it's saying is that these 3 lower chakras, again, there's that word lower, chakras are the chakras that connect us direct energy. And then we'll continue as we go along and talk about the rest. So one thing with the solar plexus, as Sandy wonderfully talked about already, is that this is where we have our inner strength. It's where we have desire. It's where we take action. It's also our self-image. It's our self-control. It's our self-discipline center. The reason being because of the placement of where the energy is flowing with this solar plexus. And what I mean by this is that when it gets to the solar plexus, our prana is still unconscious energy. You can say unconscious energy is kind of like animalistic or impulsive energy. There's no higher awareness being used when we just act out of our solar plexus. What happens is that we just act out of pure animalistic energy and instinct, having no connection to the prana moving into our heart, which is where we begin to feel, so then we can have a more I'm not sure how much you guys caught of that. Did that come through all right, Sandy?
Yeah, it didn't come through, at least for me. If you wouldn't mind repeating that, I would love it.
Okay. Is it good now?
Yeah, right now it sounds good.
Okay.
Is it still frozen?
I'm gonna give it a second.
Okay. Un momentito.
Wow, it's really it's going through. Hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Sorry, I muted my mic. I just heard you say, I think you guys can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Wow. It's getting rough over here. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that was a whole moment there. Okay. So what I was saying about the solar plexus is that the solar plexus, when we do not allow our prana, our animalistic earth energy, which is also unconscious energy, when we don't allow it to be able to travel up above the solar plexus before being expressed or taken action with, then what can happen is, due to it only being our physical energy, it's still associated with animalistic or unconscious energy. So when we get to that sacral or solar plexus center, if we don't allow that prana to continue to travel up our system and enter into the heart center is where we're able to feel empathy for others. It's where we're able to feel compassion and connection. So if we are not allowing that prana to reach that within ourselves, then what can happen is we can act impulsively. We can act unconsciously with conscious. So that the solar plexus is our self-control or our self-discipline center, because it is that energy center that literally gives us the deciding moment of, am I going to act out of my yellow ray, which is just going to shine onto anybody and everybody with no compassion or empathy for who it's shining on? Or am I going to where I can for everybody? Or would this maybe, if I was able to just take this action without consideration of others? And that's where the green ray is for the solar plexus, is being attached to judgment, criticism, opinions, basing your worth on the world and others' judgments. And I'll also add on to there too, whenever we're trying to prove ourselves to others and worth and value, those are ways that we can bring out of balance our own self-empowerment with our solar plexus chakra. And over to you for the green.
For the green ray, the heart chakra. The heart chakra collaborates with the law of love or the law of compensation, whichever one you choose to call it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The heart chakra is often regarded as the most transformative of all chakras because it bridges the lower chakras with the upper chakras. It starts to merge and become everything that is and that is not. It starts to help you become aware, or become the awareness that is aware. The divine told me once that we are conscious creatures knowing that we live. We are not aware of knowing how we live. That's why most of the time we're being told that we're unconscious. We're sleeping. We're in dream state because we haven't become aware yet. But the moment that our prana moves into the heart chakra, we become awareness that is aware of itself. The moment that you ask yourself, am I aware? Awareness moves forward and says, what are you aware of? Your higher being, right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The heart chakra bridges the lower physical energies with the higher spiritual realms. Its connection to the law of love makes it the gateway to true healing, true unity, and true alignment manifestation. Did I just drop? Can you hear me? The heart chakra. Okay. The heart chakra, its core principles are unconditional love, unconditional compassion, and unconditional forgiveness. You were born this way. It's your birthright. You're just recalling it now. The moment that you move into your heart chakra, you're in the recalling stage of who you were when you decided to come into this experience. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The heart chakra is located in the center of your chest. It is the emotional and spiritual center of your energetic body. It governs your capacity to give and receive love unconditionally. Not just romantic, but unconditional love. Like a mother for their baby, or a mother for their child, or a mother for their child that is an inmate that killed someone. They still love their child. They don't like what they did, but they unconditionally will always love their child. That's unconditional at a soul level love. Understanding that that individual had to go through that life's lesson. The heart chakra allows you to feel compassion deeply, to feel deep empathy, to transform judgment, to allow you to connect with others as they are. It helps you forgive yourself unconditionally and others. You don't have to wait for somebody to walk up to you to say, please forgive me. You just automatically do it and you get to move on. Doesn't mean they haven't done anything wrong to you. It just means that the universe has already got that taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. But now in your heart chakra, you completely understand or understand it. You forgive yourself and others, which is essential for your emotional freedom and your inner peace. Forgiveness is for you, for your inner peace and your freedom. The other person has to go find theirs. It's very personal. A balanced heart chakra allows you to unconditionally love. No need for control. It helps you to maintain healthy boundaries so that you don't get stuck in boundaries. You're creating healthy ones for your highest and greatest good. You can open the boundary door either way. And you have the unconditional love for yourself in the control of your boundary. You get to still tap into your emotions. You still get to feel them, like or dislike. The heart chakra, if balanced, also helps you to experience joy, connection, and inner peace. It also gets to help you understand that you're not separate from anything or anyone. When your heart chakra is blocked or wounded, you may experience emotional numbness. You may experience loneliness and the inability to trust. You could experience bitterness or jealousy or a deep sense of unworthiness to be part of, or just feel unworthy. Why am I even here? If it's blocked, you can feel the difficultiness in forgiving past wounds. It always keeps coming up, and people will tell you, you have to give that up, you have to surrender it. But no, this helps me, this protects me. Either it's protecting you from someone or it's protecting you from yourself. Healing the heart chakra involves embracing your vulnerabilities. It involves you letting go of past hurts. It involves you learning to unconditionally love yourself freely. Not because it's deserved or earned, but because it's your natural state. So let's talk about the law of love, the universal connection. The law of love is often considered the highest and the most fundamental universal law. It's also AKA the law of one. And yes, Ra has always talked about the law of one. And it collaborates with the law of attraction. This law states that love is the creative force behind all existence. So everything that flows through your heart space is a creative force. It transforms into a creative force. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Everything that is truly aligned with unconditional love harmonizes and expands. Everything that you say, I love, expands, grows, and mirrors, the universe mirrors it back to you. Are you being aware of what you're saying you love? What you offer in love through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your actions is magnified by you. It mirrors back to you. It grows and expands. The heart chakra is where this law is felt. The heart chakra is where this law is embodied. The heart chakra is where this law is expressed. It is the bridge between the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, which deals with our physical world. We're human beings. We're supposed to be in this human world, dealing, creating, processing this three-dimensional world. The upper chakras, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown, deal with your spiritual insight. The heart chakra allows you to translate the divine truth into human connection and earthly experiences into the spiritual, into your spiritual or our spiritual growth. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Through your heart chakra, you magnetize relationships. You magnetize your experiences and your opportunities. Through your heart chakra, you heal your emotional wounds and you get to integrate your polarities, self and your other selves. When I say other selves, as Ross said it, when I look at Marcus, that's my other self. I get to heal mind and body. I get to heal inner and outer. The heart chakra begins to experience oneness, or allows you to begin to experience oneness with life. You begin to dance the cosmic dance with life. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Your heart chakra does not recognize. It does not recognize. I'm going to say it again. It does not recognize separation. It only knows unity. So you might say, how does these two work? How does the heart chakra and the law of love work? How do they collaborate with each other? The lower chakras are about survival and emotion and will. The heart chakra is where you begin to live from soul, not just self. Love is no longer a transaction. It's a state of being. Forgiveness becomes liberation, not concession. Compassion becomes your strength and not your weakness. In this space, in this heart chakra space, you not only attract love, you become love. And in doing this, you live in harmony with the highest law of the universe, the law of love, or the law of one. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Over to our guest, Marcus.
The law of love. The law of love. Thank you for that. So the heart chakra is, it's such a fun one to connect with. You know, there's many ways that you can go about healing your heart center. And some of those ways that are maybe kind of more known to your consciousness than you may think is through connecting with different archetypes or guides, such as Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of the Green Ray, and the heart chakra being that green ray center. Basically, anything with the green energy you can bring into your life to help bring more energy to your heart chakra. So Archangel Raphael, the green ray of light. There's also other guides as well that connect with the green energy. One of them is Ganesh. So Ganesh is also a guide of the green ray in Hinduism, the elephant-headed Hindu god. And what Ganesh represents in the story is the story of basically going through unperfect parts of your human self and receiving scarring as well, which is what Ganesh goes through in the life story. And through that, Ganesh then created the elephant mask with one of the broken tusk on it. And that's why you see Ganesh with an elephant mask. So the reason why he made his mask is because he still wanted to be able to go into the world and express who he truly was inside, despite his scars of the outside. So what this is representing is symbolically that we can use our outer self as basically a imperfect and flawed way to be able to still bring our light and love into this world. And in a way, the outer self protects us because the outer self is meant to get scarred. It's meant to go through things, and it's made to go through that for us and with us. So with that, Ganesh represents the removal of obstacles. And when we activate that self-love through our heart, that no matter what flaw we have, no matter what scar we have from the past, we are still going to love ourselves and love serving for the world. And that's what Ganesh basically represents with the green ray. Now, there's other guides as well that connect with the green ray. I know one of those feminine guides is going to be Archangel Haniel as well. And then I'm pretty sure Mother Mary kind of works closely with that green energy, but she's actually a turquoise ray, which is the green and the blue combined together. So she's really like an ascended master of the bridging of the heart with our expression. So yeah, that's pretty fascinating. And going back to our diagram with the heart chakra, the heart chakra is in the center of all 7. So therefore, to the lower chakras, being able to make its way up into the higher spiritual realms. Oh, that internet's better now. I guess it's better since I turned the video background off. That's so funny. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the heart center, that green energy center there in the middle. And if you look at the symbol has a triangle downwards and a triangle upwards. So that's a representation of down to earth and then above to heaven. And the heart is the representation of that, which is why it's number 4 of the 7. So as you guys can see with the dotted lines to the left, it says physical body. Then it stops at number 3, the solar plexus. So just like Sandy said, right there at the heart center, that's where we now bring our physical energy into emotional energy. So the heart is where we begin to feel empathy for other beings. We feel a connection to other beings as us, as one. It's also where we feel compassion as well for others and ourselves. Now, some pretty key components physically when it comes to the heart chakra is this is where our blood pressure health is. This is where our heart conditioning is. This is also where our arm health is as well. So if we are having heart problems, blood pressure issues, that means your heart chakra is in blockages. And then that can result into blood clots and things of that nature. Some other things that can block our heart chakra are, very tragic experiences in relationships, as well as other accounts of relationships and love in our life. And what can happen is over time, if we don't rebalance or heal ourselves, then our heart can get kind of stiffened up and it can feel like it's heavy and that we can't express love, that we just we can't receive or even want to feel love from those around us. And I'm sure we have all been in that state at least once in our life, whether it was fresh out of a breakup in a relationship, or you just went through something very distrustful that happened. Those are the kind of things that can kind of stiffen up that heart center, which is our center of trust as well. So if we are not able to trust life as a whole, then that's also where we could have blockages in our heart chakra. Because even though we're going through chaos, even though we're going through, um, you know, distrustful experiences in this incarnated life, it doesn't mean that the divine doesn't have us always. And that's the key, is finding that embodiment within ourselves, that no matter what I'm going through, I know it's not personal, and that I am able to continue forward and make change with my free will and continue to rebalance and do the things that I can spiritually in my awareness. So then also with the heart chakra, whenever we have some blockages here or overactive, we could find ourselves also kind of constantly putting others before ourselves and neglecting our own well-being. And that's what we call kind of like caregiving, so to say. And this happens a lot, especially to single parents, mothers. They're working 2 jobs, they're doing all these different things. And then what happens is they're so used to being in that state that when they actually get help or help asks, to help them, they're just so out of whack and out of balance with their heart center that they don't even feel like it's right to receive help. And I've experienced that myself and see many others go through it as well. And it's one of the most beautiful things I love helping people with, is bringing balance to their giving and receiving. Because, man, we got a lot of givers in this world, and we all have a balance. So that's why boundaries are super key, just like we just talked about with this heart center. Because it's great to love, it's great to love. But we also have to remember that we're in a matrix world where there's contrast and duality and other intentions out there in this life. I'll hand it back to you.
Just take that in for a minute. There are so many beautiful givers, but the givers don't know how to receive. That's part of love, to give and receive. Unconditional love says, I'm going to give you love with not the expectation that I'm going to receive it. I'm just going to give it. Unconditional love. And the universe says, well, oh, Sandy, you're giving love and you're enjoying it. I'm going to give it back to you. But when it's given back to you, maybe something in your heart space is closed off or buried beneath problems and situations and circumstances that keep you from receiving love on your end. It takes in all that energy from your root and your sacral and your solar plexus. You get to the point where it takes it all in. But now you've got to be the creator that says, what do I want to do with this energy? Who do I want to be now that I'm in my heart space? How do I want to grow? Who do I want to share it with? Who don't I want to share it with? Did I get myself stuck in a box because I cut everyone off? Because I thought that would make me feel more comfortable. Your heart space helps you to ask the embodying questions you need to grow, to merge your root chakra with your sacral, and your sacral with your solar plexus, and your solar plexus with your heart. All three in one. As Marcus says, we keep climbing the ladder. So that takes us to our next chakra and the next universal law that's in collaboration with the chakra. The throat chakra, the universal law of truth and expression, a collaboration. The throat chakra is vital energy. It's vital energy because it is the gateway between your inner truth and your outer world. Between your inner truth and your outer world. When aligned with the law of expression, it empowers you to shape your reality through conscious communication, conscious authenticity, and conscious integrity. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The core principle of your throat chakra is communication, truth, and self-expression. It's located in your throat, just like it says. This chakra governs all aspects of expression. It governs all aspects of expression through sound, through speech, through listening, through symbolic communication, even through numerology. It reflects your ability to speak your truth, to ask what you need, to express your ideas clearly, to honor your inner voice, yours. A balanced throat chakra means you communicate clearly and with confidence. It means you listen deeply. Did you know that your throat chakra is about you listening and perceiving what you hear and being able to authentically listen and actively listen so that you hear what the other person is saying, not what your ego thinks it meant to say. You listen deeply, not just to others, but also to your intuition. You listen deeply to your inner guidance. You have a sit down at the seat of your soul with your higher being, and you're attentive to you. You express yourself honestly. You be honest. You can be honest with yourself first before anybody else. You can be honest with yourself without fear of judgment or rejection. Your throat chakra helps you align your voice with your values. It helps you ask an embodying question about your values. Is it serving you anymore? Is a good question. When your throat chakra is blocked or unbalanced, you may struggle to speak because you fear that you might say something wrong, or you fear that somebody's going to censor you, or you've been censored before, so you have a fear of that. I've been there, done that before. I had a fear of speaking in public due to not being able to memorize speaking in class. You got to use the cards, the note cards, but you got denoted, your grade dropped for how many times you looked at your cards that were there to support you. I got embarrassed. And I carried that with me for a long time. My throat chakra was closed. I was the middle child amongst what I considered or perceived to be intelligent older and younger siblings. And I felt cut off. And I had the impression that I was being censored because they would say, oh no, that's not right. It's like this. So I started feeling that my voice didn't matter. When your throat chakra is blocked or unbalanced, you might start over talking people or dominating conversations or using your words harshly. I sometimes would just shut up. Or sometimes I would talk when my teacher was talking. There can also be a disconnect between you and what you feel or what you say. You could be feeling one thing, but you can say another thing because you want to be compliant with the person that you're having a conversation with. Creating emotional and energetic dissonance. Okay? Healing the throat chakra involves developing the courage to speak honestly, choosing your words with intention, going within, unpackaging all that problems or the perception of problems of speaking that I buried. Uncovering it and letting myself feel it. The more I did lives on Instagram, and now I'm embarking on YouTube, experiencing the uncomfortability of it and going, what the hell? Let's just do it. Reclaiming my voice so that I could be a creative force. So let's talk about the law, the universal law that connects this throat chakra, that merges with this throat chakra, that collaborates with this throat chakra. The law of expression. The law of expression teaches that the universe responds to what we declare, especially when the declaration is infused with emotion or embodiment, clarity or embodiment, and authenticity or embodiment, whatever your label is. Every time you speak, you are emitting a vibrational energy into the world, and the world is mirroring that vibration back. Words are not just tools. We're told that they are tools. I believe that they were tools for so long, but they are carriers of frequency and intention. When your words, your thoughts, and your emotions align, they act as commands to the field of reality, and the field of reality has to respond. It knows nothing else to do. There is no gray area. It's required to manifest experiences, attractions. It's required to shape perceptions. This law reveals the importance of speaking with integrity. This law reveals avoiding self-limiting language like I can't or I am not good enough. It reveals that you can use affirmations, prayers, and mantras consciously and embodying and amplifying, embodying and amplifying the vibration of alignment. You're responsible. I'm going to slow my roll. The throat chakra is where the law is put into action. Where the law of expression is put into action. It's the energetic site where your inner world becomes an outer expression. It's where your inner world becomes your outer expression through your voice, through your music, through your writing, through your teaching, and even through your silence. When this chakra is opened and balanced, your truth resonates. When this chakra is open and balanced, this truth, your truth, resonates. The world responds with clarity. It responds with respect, and it responds with alignment. It responds to you. And you might say, how do they work together? The law of expression and your throat chakra. In this space, this throat chakra space, your words heal and uplift and empower. You stop hiding your truth and you start living it, regardless of what anybody else thinks. You begin to speak reality into existence, not through force, but through alignment with your highest self. You don't have to go you don't have to go search. You don't have to go search. You don't have to go grind. You just become and do. Over to our guest, Marcus.
So the throat center, where we begin to now consciously, through our hearts, begin to be able to now uplift that prana. I'll go ahead and pull our image back up. We're now able to uplift that prana that we now made up through our physical nature into the beginning of our emotional nature with the heart. It then rises up to the throat, where it's no longer just emotional, but it's also what you can call astral or conscious spiritual energy. And with the throat center, this is where we are able to communicate and express. It's where we're able to put forth our creative energy into the world. There are our conscious and feeling of connection. It's also where we're able to bring forward our dreams into our physical reality, because we download it from the crown into the third eye and then bring it into life through the throat center. Some keys with the throat center as well is that it is our integrity center, as well as our discernment center. And I like to use discernment better than integrity, because I feel like the solar is a little bit more of the integrity center, where the throat is kind of more of discernment. And what is discernment? I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase, discern your energy, discern their energy. You know, discern who you are doing a healing practice with, discern the practitioner, the reader, things like that. But maybe you haven't had yourself explain to what that truly means in a micro level. So with the throat center, with it being our discernment energy or a discernment center, discernment means basically receiving energy and information and then processing it and filtering it. And then through that, we feel if it resonates for us. And that is discernment, basically. Our throat center draws in the energy and information that is being expressed to us, and then it filters through the throat center. And then if it resonates with our authentic being, then we will feel if it resonates, or we will feel if it does not resonate. And then once we feel that, and once we get signaled that through our intuitive throat center, then that's up to us to either listen to that or ignore it. And what we find is, we ignore it, then we start going into a little bit of our shadow, and then we go into some experiences that help us not ignore it. Or if we don't ignore it and we listen to it, then we get that feeling of like an upliftment and a level up in our life most of the time. And there's no good or bad to it. You always have chance and opportunity. That's the beauty of free will. Even if you don't become aware of what you're going to become aware of in that moment, then you'll just go on to more experiences, and then you'll have more opportunities to become aware. So that's why we have grace and give ourselves compassion, which was another key within this as well. So if Sandy is open to it, I would love to play a video for a little bit, not long at all. And in this video, it's going to help us connect with this connection between the heart and the throat. And it's also going to talk about some beautiful guides that we can connect with and use to help the balance with our heart and our throat center. And before we go into that as well, I also want to give some blockages for the throat. Blockages can result from suppressing your own emotional expressions. It can also happen when we reject ourselves from being valid to express, or if we are suppressed or rejected by others outside of us. This can result in our emotional energy not traveling up and out through our throat center properly. And then this causes blockages and backup within that serpent energy that you see again to the left, that's trying to automatically flow its current through you. So once those blockages happen, that current can't do what it's made to do. Then it becomes very difficult, it causes tension, pain, struggle, disease, so on and so forth. So those are some pretty key things when it comes to the throat center. And those really subtle energies too, those subtle moments where, you feel a big expression building up inside of you, and then you reject it or you suppress it because of fear. That's another way of blocking your throat center. So yeah, Sandy, if you're open to it, I would love to play a video for a short moment. Awesome. She is cool with it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this share screen so we don't have too many things going at once, because who knows what would happen with the Wi-Fi. Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna really enjoy this. Get cozy, and I'll play just a little bit of this video, but it's gonna be a good one.
Welcome everyone. I am Gwendolyn, a student of the Ascended Masters teachings, and I am just so grateful to be here with you today on Ascended Masters 101. In this episode, we are diving into the healing flame of Archangel Raphael and his twin flame, Mother Mary, and their shared divine mission to restore wholeness through the practice of the Immaculate Concept. So whether you're seeking healing in the body or the mind or the soul, or maybe you're looking for ways to support other people on their spiritual journey, this teaching is for you. Archangel Raphael serves on the fifth ray, the emerald ray of truth, of healing, of science, of wholeness, music, and abundance. And his twin flame, Mother Mary, is the divine feminine presence of this ray. And together they minister to everyone who is in need of spiritual and physical healing. Their retreat is located in the etheric realm over Fatima, Portugal, and it's a holy focus of healing where pilgrims have felt the radiation of the healing flame since Mother Mary's appearance there in 1917. As it's written in the Masters and their Retreats, quote, "The healing flame that blazes on the altar of his retreat was anchored in the physical octave when Mother Mary appeared to the 3 shepherd children at Fatima in 1917. There is a stream of light that flows like a mighty waterfall from the etheric plane to the physical focus, and to the present hour, pilgrims are healed by the waters of the healing flame," end quote. Isn't that amazing? This retreat is a healing sanctuary for the soul, and it serves not only hospitals and health workers, but anyone who's open to being made whole through the light of God. So this retreat is here for everyone who wants to be healed and wants to have that wholeness within their being. The 5th ray is emerald green, and it governs the 3rd eye chakra, which is your center for divine vision, insight, truth, and spiritual discernment. Archangel Raphael's name means God has healed, or medicine of God, and his flame holds the matrix of wholeness. He is often called upon by those in the healing professions or those who are facing physical challenges. Mother Mary, the beloved mother of Jesus, is a master in the science of the Immaculate Concept, which is holding the divine image of the soul no matter what outward conditions may appear. So she always sees the best in everyone. So Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary together teach us the science of the Immaculate Concept. And this science is practiced by every angel in heaven. So this is really important in heaven. Their mission is not just to heal bodies, but to heal our souls and our minds and our emotions and the deep patterns of pain that sometimes keep us from our divine potential. And so this science of the Immaculate Concept and the healing of our beings, you can tell how nicely they go together, right? Because they see the best in us and they help us with that. One of the most powerful gifts Archangel Raphael has given to us is a sacred healing thought form. It's a matrix of light that can be invoked through prayers and through decrees. And it's made up of 3 concentric spheres. So the innermost sphere is pure white light, which restores the divine blueprint of the soul. So white in the middle. The middle sphere is sapphire blue, sealing the protection and the will of God. So white and then blue. Then the outermost sphere is emerald green, which brings the full radiance of the healing flame into your being. So white, blue, green. And you can visualize this thought form placed over yourself or a loved one whenever healing of any sort is needed. Mother Mary complements this by teaching us to hold the Immaculate Concept, to see the divine potential of others and of ourselves, even when it's obscured by illness or limitation of any kind. So they do this for us, and they also ask us to hold the Immaculate Concept for other people. Mother Mary says, quote, "Support people by maintaining this immaculate, stainless, spotless vision. The perfect idea becomes a magnet that attracts creative energies of the Holy Spirit," end quote. So when we align with that perfect image, we magnetize healing. We call in that wholeness. So here's how you can begin working with these angels of healing right now. Step 1 is the decree. You can speak this aloud with intention, a prayer, something to this effect. In the name of Jesus the Christ, beloved Archangel Raphael, beloved Mother Mary, place your healing thought form over myself, someone else, anyone who you'd like this healing thought form to be placed over. Let this soul be made whole according to God's will. You can also apply a visualization. You can see these 3 spheres, white.
All right. So that's where we'll close out on that. It's an 8-minute video, but you guys can find that on YouTube anytime too. So just know that you guys can always research and look up and just type into your computer, like Archangel Raphael, Mother Mary Ascended Master, Saint Germain and the Violet Flame, and just type those in on YouTube and you'll find such a large variety of videos to check out. So don't be afraid to use your resources, and these beautiful rays of light and divine beings that are reflections of our one self, they're always accessible through these various ways, even if it's digital. So just try not to limit your mindset, digital, physical, energetic, mental, it's all energy and it's all ways to be able to access the different ways of energy.
Truth, right? Truth as we perceive it. So when we discern it and we go learn about it and we have a perception that we can feed from our lower three chakras, or our little I, our egoic I, and we carry our egoic I, our lower three chakras carry our egoic self through the heart chakra into our throat chakra. It moves into our third eye chakra and into the crown chakra. It merges. We become. That's how we become multidimensional. Growth and expansion. Nothing stays the same. Everything is constantly in motion. Everything constantly moves. So we grow, we expand. And as we grow and expand, we are learning that we come from growth and expansion. We come from the realm of you might want to call it heaven or the realm of absolute. I call it the realm of absolute because it's everything and no thing all at the same. And we're recalling that spiritual part of us. Our higher being is coming in and saying, oh, I remember that. Okay, now show me that in form. How does that work? And rubbing your hands together and going, show me. Because now you've embarked on your heart, your heart chakra and your throat chakra, and you get to have this vibration where even the silence is a frequency. So we're moving on. We're moving up the ladder. The third eye chakra. And what does it collab with? It collabs with the law of mentalism or the law of perfection. Not perfection, perception. I'm getting excited. Gotta slow my roll and take a sip of living water. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The third eye is one of the most profound centers in inner knowing and perception. When linked with the law of mentalism, it reveals how your thoughts, your beliefs, and your perceptions shape not only your inner experiences, but your external ones as well. The core principle of your third eye chakra is intuition, insight, and perception. The third eye is located between your eyebrows. It is the center of your consciousness, governing your inner vision, governing your intuition, governing your imagination, and your clarity of perception. It's your internal guidance system. It allows you to see beyond the physical senses and access deeper truths, your deeper truths. It allows you to access your higher wisdom and your spiritual insight. Yes, you have them. You were born with them. The core principle allows you to embody you. When this chakra is balanced, you feel mentally clear. You feel spiritually aware. You're aware that your awareness being aware. When it's balanced, you feel your intuition strongly. You know without needing a reason. Sometimes you just know things. You trust your inner guidance system and you see the deeper meaning behind experiences. Everybody else can be seeing the world in one way and maybe in fear, but you don't see the fear. You see the, well, what if that's leading me to a different position in life? Where is that taking me? We've got the horn confirming. You can discern truth from illusion in your third eye. You can navigate the cosmic dance of life through your deeper awareness. When you're blocked, or when it's blocked or imbalanced, you may feel foggy. You may feel disconnected from your intuition. You may even feel irrational. Right? You may doubt yourself. You may doubt yourself in your inner knowing. It's kind of like doing a test. I'm getting excited here. Doing a test. I've done tests in school. And the first thing I check is the correct answer, but I change it and I overthink it and change it to something different. And the teacher used to be able to see where I changed my answer, where I erased it, or I crossed it out and chose something different. And I remember the teacher always telling me, go with your first instinct, Sandy. Sometimes when you're out of balance, you can feel trapped in your thinking because it's limited. You might experience rigid beliefs or the rigid beliefs that have been buried underneath layers and layers of information, misgiven information to you from somewhere else or someone else. Or told that you have to, you need to think about that. So now you're always overthinking or have the inability to see beyond appearances. Well, it must be so because it looks that way. The chakra is also the seat of your imagination. It's the seat of your creative visioning. It's the ability to visualize possibilities before they manifest. Embodiment. See it, feel it, be it before you receive it, before it manifests. Show the universe what it feels like. Let the universe see it. Did you hear that? Let the universe see it. So let's talk about the universal law that connects your intuition. The law of mentalism. The law of mentalism, the first Hermetic principle, the first Hermetic principle, I'm going to slow my roll and say that word clearly, teaches that all is mind. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If I've called it the mind and you believe it's the soul, it's all the same. It's consciousness. The universe and everything in it originates from consciousness, from thought, imagination, and awareness. Everything you perceive, you create, you experience is first born of a mental image or a belief. The law, or this law, requires that your reality is shaped by the contents of your mind, your thought, your beliefs, your perception, and your assumptions. You're responsible. The third eye chakra is the interface between your mind and the metaphysical. The space where inner thought becomes your outer vision. When your third eye is open, you become aware of how your thoughts project onto your reality. You become aware of it. You go, ooh, did I just do that? What you believe, you begin to see. Oh, I want a 1996 baby blue Jaguar. Did you know when I intended that? I saw baby blue Jaguars everywhere, including the 1996. Everywhere before it manifested. And then I manifested 2 of them. I got to choose. You gain the ability to consciously direct thoughts and visualizations to reshape your experience. You get to change it. Take responsibility for it. That's the law of mentalism. You stop being a passive receiver. You stop being a passive receiver and sitting on the sidelines of the dance, of the cosmic dance of the universe, waiting for somebody to ask you to dance. You become actively a co-creator in your working mind and your working vision, and you begin to manifest the outcomes and take responsibility for them. This chakra sharpens your spiritual perception. You begin to see life through the lens of unity and purpose, rather than separation and fear. So how does the law of mentalism and your third eye work or manifest together or collaborate together? When your inner vision is clear and your outer world follows suit, thought is not passive. It's creative. Imagination, ooh, I'm excited. Imagination is not fantasy. It's your blueprint. Clarity creates clarity of life. Clarity of mind creates clarity of life. Your third eye. Your intuition. A person with a balanced third eye can see possibilities where other people see problems. Other people perceive problems, therefore problems show themselves. But you see possibilities, they keep showing up and you get to choose. They perceive from their higher mental state or their consciousness, and they connect with the universal intelligence of all that is and that is not. You are awareness, being aware of all it is and all it is not. And then allow yourself to become more. Over to you, Marcus. Back to my beautiful guest, my other self.
Mind's eye. Probably the most popular chakra in our human culture, I would say. The good old mind's eye, the third eye. I'm sure many of us have heard the word third eye before, but maybe have never had it explained to us in the micro level of what the third eye truly is for us. Now we get a lot of symbolism in our cultures and in our symbolic referencing, and the mind's eye is very, very powerful, just like all these other energy centers, of course. But with this mind's eye, we're starting to now dive to, with the mind's eye or the third eye chakra being the energy center of our perception, our perceptual awareness. That means it's able to perceive really any dimension. So with that being said, with our mind's eye, some of the keys to look for when it comes to having a, if you want to say, balanced and clear third eye center, is you really want to be aware of what kind of belief systems am I taking into my perception, and also, what kind of experiences am I continuously allowing myself to observe through my perception. And as we observe and we go through our experiences through our conscious mind, the third eye, we then kind of accumulate and we kind of replicate the information inside of ourselves because we're learning from it. And that's the whole point of Earth is that we're learning from energy and information. So the third eye is where we perceive it from a conscious lens. So what happens then after it goes into our conscious mind is it goes and stores into our subconscious. The subconscious is going to be correlated to the 12 chakra system. But when we perceive these experiences and belief systems, and we continue to reiterate those same things over and over into our belief system and into our perception, then it's going to slowly program us into those programmings and beliefs. So another thing about the third eye too is it was mentioned that it is where we are able to see through the problems in our physical life. So when we don't allow ourselves, or when we're not capable in the moment of being able to have clarity through our third eye, then it could be difficult for us to be able to see basically the silver lining or the divine messages behind our experiences that we're going through. And then we can feel trapped and stuck, and we can feel like the world is against us, basically. But when our third eye is open and it's balanced, our hemispheres are balanced, which means we are in tune with our logic as well as our spiritual intuition. And when those are in balance with each other in the center of our third eye, then we're able to be in a mental state of balance where we are allowing ourselves to logically process the information coming through us, but we are also not attaching to it. We are just allowing ourselves to receive what processes through us, and then we are allowing the spiritual side of us, or the non-logical side of us, to then be an alchemist with that conscious energy. So another thing I want to share too with the third eye is it also governs our pineal gland. And our pineal gland is what is accountable for a lot of the major chemicals in our body, such as our dopamine, our serotonin, our hormones, and basically our whole entire biological clock. So if this energy center is blocked up and it's unhealthy, then we can begin to manifest dis-ease and disorder in our being due to the unregulation of the primary chemicals that we need to be flowing through us. And when that happens, we become very dulled out. We become basically tethered away from our physical reality. and we feel very weak in our physical nature because we don't have the right chemicals flowing through us. This can also create headaches, head pressure, as well as constant nightmares and insomnia. So these are all blockages or out of balance qualities that can take place within the third eye center. So with that also, the third eye is basically our main center for going into astral travel, as well as going into deep psychic realms and tapping into our psychic senses, such as our clairvoyance, clairaudience, and things of that nature. And that is because if you look at the dots, the third eye begins to bring us into the mental body, and the mental body is vastly more expanded than our physical and emotional. And within the mind, if you remember the first law is mentalism in the Kabbalion. The all is mind. So you can travel through all of the universe through your mind and your mind's eye at free will. And we do that. We even do that when we're daydreaming. They just call it daydreaming in this world because it's a cover of what's actually going on. What's actually going on is that we're traveling to another dimension consciously, and we're interacting in another dimension that is just as live as this third dimension is just as live. And there's something happening there that is also altering what's happening here at the same time. So it's pretty deep and pretty cool. But that's the mind's eye. Very powerful. And just, the things to look for when it comes to boundaries, just like knowing what kind of programming you're watching and absorbing, knowing what kind of belief systems you're taking on from yourself and others, and what kind of propaganda you may have swirling in your subconscious as well. Those are some keys when it comes to having an activated third eye center.
Yes. Now remember, guys, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We're not telling you how to live your life, what programs to watch, what music to listen to. You have the ability to do that. You have 7 chakras just like we do. What works for one may not work for another. You came to have an experience. You came to be an individual expression of the divine, just as I did, just as Marcus did. There's no one way for you to experience this life. No one way. You get to have infinite possibilities of how you want to experience it. You could stay in your root chakra the whole time, and the divine would see you as itself and feel you as itself and feel form. You get to make that choice. You get to travel the polarities of third density and the polarities of your chakras. You get to utilize the laws of the universal laws as your tools or not. But know that if you're not doing it intentionally, the universe is still looking at you, still listening to you, still reflecting what you're giving out. But it is not doing it willy-nilly. It's not doing it by chance. It's doing it because that energy was created and it can't be destroyed. All it can do is transform. So it's transforming for you. Okay, we've got the last one. I know this has been a long soul awakening podcast, but the divine says, truly needed to support. And I said, yeah. I said, yes, we got to do this. We got to serve. I know I had to serve. I know I knew who was going to be my guest for this, who I was going to ask. Right? So here we go. The seventh is the crown chakra. Number 7. The law of divine purpose and perpetual transmutation. They merge with each other. They are collaborators. The crown chakra and the law of divine purpose, or you can call it the law of perpetual transmutation, whatever you choose. The crown chakra is the highest energetic center. I want to say that again. The crown chakra is the highest energetic center in the chakra system. And it is connection to the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It's both subtle and powerful. I'll say that again. It's both subtle and powerful. Together, they represent spiritual awakening or spiritual recalling. The flow of higher consciousness and our ability to elevate our vibration by connecting with divine intelligence or source, or if you want to call it Almighty God. Whatever your terminology is, call it that. The core principle of the crown chakra is spiritual connection and enlightenment. Located at the top of your head, the crown chakra is your gateway to the divine, to the universal mind, or source consciousness, however you want to say it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Whatever your name, whatever you choose for your higher intelligence that permeates all existence, everywhere, all at once and not at all. The crown chakra governs transcendence of ego and duality. It governs the connection to the universal truth and unity. It governs access to wisdom, to grace, and to divine inspiration. You were born with this. This is your birthright. You came into it with this way. You just didn't recall it yet. You were comatose to it for a minute. When this chakra is balanced, you feel deeply connected to something greater than yourself. There's a sense of peace and purpose and presence. You live more in your now moments. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are in tune with the infinite, with source, with all that has been created, with the no thing and the something, or the all thing. Your sense of self has expanded. You begin to experience oneness of all life. You take into account all life when you're on your walks. You take into account all life when you're on that surfboard looking for the perfect wave. You live from a place of trust and surrender rather than fear and control. When your crown chakra is blocked or unbalanced or imbalanced, you feel spiritually disconnected. You feel lost and alone. Sometimes this can show up as depression. You may feel overly intellectually, you intellectualize everything. spiritually become rigid or dogmatic. Religiosity. There's often a sense of separation. Like I said, loneliness. You can feel lonely. You have an existential crisis or anxiety about everything, inward and outward. The crown chakra is not personal. It's about beingness. It's not about identity or emotion. It's about pure being. It represents the flowering of your consciousness. The flowering of your consciousness. Think of a bee that goes from flower to flower, pollinating from flower to flower. It's about the culmination of your inner work and the return to your divine awareness. Your inner work and the return to divineness. Recalling, oh, I'm a spiritual being. Oh, I remember I came here to seek self in form. I came here to play in all of the polarities. I came here to seek wisdom and understanding. I came here to grow and expand. I came here to shift and evolve. And I came here to wash, rinse, and repeat and do it all over again. Ooh, yay! Let's talk about the law of perpetual mutation, transmutation of energy. The universe, or the law, states that energy is always moving and transforming, that the higher frequencies naturally uplift and transform lower ones. Energy never dies. It only shifts form. Consciousness is energy. It means that your thoughts, your emotions, and your intentions are always in state of flux. Ooh. The law also implies that when you connect to the higher vibrational energy, like love or like joy or gratitude, like divine inspiration, you can elevate or transmute lower states. You can transmute fear. You can transmute anger. You can transmute shame or doubt. The crown chakra is a conduit. The crown chakra is a conduit. It moves you through the higher energies that are in your system. Your chakra systems. Your subtle bodies. Your spirit, your soul. Divine energy flows from the cosmos and filters down through your chakras. When open, the crown allows you to receive clarity, healing, and insight from all higher realms. It allows your higher being to be in contact with Source. It is your access point to the quantum field. Ooh. So transformation happens instantly through your intention, your awareness, and your spiritual surrender. The chakra invites you not to control, It invites you to align. It invites alignment. The more aligned you are with your higher states, such as truth and love and unity, the more your lower energetic patterns naturally transmute and heal. They don't fight. They comply. So in this way, your crown chakra is both a receiver and a transformer. It brings in higher frequencies that change your internal state and over time, your external reality. How do they work together? This crown chakra and this law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It shows you that nothing is fixed. Everything evolves. When you tap into your higher energy, you become an agent of transformation. Ooh, you become the 007 of transformation, not just in your life, but in others as well. When they merge or collaborate, they teach us that we're not stuck. We don't have to be stuck in the lower states. We're taught that we're designed to rise and to evolve and to transmute. We're taught that we can transmute pain into power, fear into wisdom, and separation into unity. We're taught stillness and surrender can be more than transformative than striving. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to create. Enlightenment is an escape. I know you've heard that, oh, you're just escaping. You think that enlightenment is, you just don't want to think about everything that's going out in the world. So you use that. But enlightenment is an escape. It's integration of the divine into your everyday life. You get to decide when you see your outer world showing you something, you get to decide, why is this showing me it? Why does it keep coming around? Oh, what do I keep thinking about that keeps bringing this around or keeps showing me this perspective of how it's been integrated in my life? How do I want to change it? What is it trying to tell me? When your crown chakra is open, you become a vessel for higher will. You get to merge with the divine, and free will becomes higher. You're not abandoning self, you're evolving self. You're not leaving your little self, your egoic self behind, you're bringing it along for the ride. Allowing yourself to be guided by something greater. And over to my guest, Marcus Christolight Robbins. Let's take it in.
Take it in, take it in. We have reached the crown. Oh man, this has been so much fun for over 2 hours together. 2.5 hours, wow. And welcome in everybody, and Lizzie on Facebook. It causes one to question, that's for sure. Absolutely. And then when you have that question, what do you do with that question? Up to you. So we'll go back to our graphic image. And guys, feel free to comment, feel free to share, express, feel free to drop some knowledge on us and add to it. We're always open. So I'm actually going to scroll up a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we got the 7th, the crown. Now you see where it says causal body, right above mental body on that left side. So now the crown is in that causal body. So our causal body is basically like this 0 point field. And this is why it was just described that the crown chakra is that synergy point between your physical makeup and your mental makeup. And that's why it's called the causal, because it's a causal space. It's like a 0 point field. So the crown chakra, just like Sandy was saying, it is that connection point, it's that gateway for our physicality to be able to be met with higher light or divine light. So with that, that's where we feel a continuous and constant connection of peace that is able to take over our being, because we are in the embodiment that I am connected to source in this moment. No matter what happens in this egoic world, no matter what happens in chaos, no matter what happens in my shadows, when my crown is open, it is connected, and I have a streamlined, fluid connection to my higher self or source. And that's one of my favorite affirmations to use. And affirmations is something that you guys can use for any chakra. But the affirmation that I like to use for the crown chakra is, I am connected to source. I am connected to source in this moment. I am connected to source even through change and chaos. And when you keep on reiterating that to yourself and you reprogram yourself into that belief system, then you begin to embody that more. And then your crown chakra activates and expands more and more into that clear connection. So now, with that being said, it's also the transmutation center. You can think of the crown chakra, since it is associated with the violet ray, you can think of the violet flame. And you can also call on the violet flame as well to help with the crown chakra energy. Now, the violet flame as a whole is able to be used for your whole entire being. And it does exactly what we spoke on with the crown, which is transmutation. Along with that, you guys can connect with amethyst crystals, as well as other purple crystals like lepidolite and sugarlight. And then you can connect with archetypes or spiritual guides like Saint Germain, Lady Portia, his twin flame, as well as Archangel Zadkiel. And they will help you with accessing and igniting more of this violet energy in your life. So with that, the violet energy is also associated with typically royalty. So the reason why we subconsciously associate this with royalty is because it connects us to that crown energy, the violet ray. So then the last thing I want to also bring up with the crown is just being aware and being observant of, am I basing my life, am I basing my belief system off of, the world? Am I basing it off of what the news is telling me? Am I basing it off of, the fear that others are presenting to me? Or am I allowing myself to be in the knowing that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? So no matter what I'm going through, I have the Creator right there inside of me, navigating with me. No matter who's around me, no matter who I do have and don't have, I still have that connection with Source. And with that, I'm still alive, I still exist, I still have my free will, and I can make change. And I don't have to stay stuck in this lower nature of believing in a finite reality. Last thing I want to say is be careful of, and when I say be careful, I don't mean it from a fear standpoint. It's more of an awareness standpoint of having a balanced and blocked crown chakra. Just being aware of if we are, in fear about the future, or if we are holding on to the past. These kind of things can kind of weigh down the anchors of these upper chakras instead of allowing us to be present in the embodiment of faith, which is having the knowing and the trust that you are in divine hands always. So with that, I believe I will leave it there, and I'll pass it back to our wonderful host.
We are the divine, having physical action or having a physical encounter with what it created, what they created, what he created, what she created, what we created. Now, as I told you, I don't memorize anything. I've let go of that story. So when I write something, I just go with the flow. But I'm going to read you what I wrote. The chakra system can be seen as a microcosm of the universal laws. Each chakra develops or is activated. You more fully embody the principles of these laws, not just intellectually, but you get to experiment with them. That's what the laws are there for. Try them on for size. One size does not fit all. Working through your chakras is often viewed as a path to living in harmony with the cosmic truths, but the cosmic truths are constantly being thrown at you and changed as they're being thrown. The divine created everything from cosmic chaos. Only the ego sees it as a problem. Only the ego sees it as a problem. But as you move up your chakras and your polarity of your chakras, when you get to the that highest beingness of the expanse of the divine, you see as your possibilities of reality. You get to choose. It's not a problem. You get to choose what is your truth and how it resonates for you. And the person next to you that sees it differently, you get to choose to say, go ahead and believe that. Go ahead. That's your choice, your perception. And you understand that they have to experience what they need to experience for their story. You're in it as maybe a filler. Your judgment of their story matters not. You begin to understand that. You begin to embrace your expression of your authenticity being the divine creator. So with this, I hope that we have helped you to understand the merging or the collaboration of your chakra system and the universal laws. I've been told that the universal laws are my tools. But now I understand why. Now I understand how. The whole perception has changed for me about being the creator and creating my outer world from within me. I hope this has helped you. In even the replay, share with us. Share with my guest. Ask questions, even in the replay. We'll return the answers as for me from the divine. I might have a perception of it that the divine has chosen for me, but it might give you reference to what is being chosen for you to see, feel, be, experience, become. Lizzie, can you bring up what Lizzie says? She said that she had a download recently. Before we leave, I like to share that. I think it says, I had a download recently. It told me, hold on a second. It told me that God was pure light energy. I have something blocking me. Was pure light energy. And that was all collectively light. I was told I had to continue work through my shadow to experience pure light energy. Right? And if that resonated with you, then you go forth to figuring out how you work through your shadows. Because if the divine told you that you're going to continue to work through your shadows, you can guarantee that a cosmic vibration of the divine is going to open up avenues and pathways for you to experience. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, guys. You were given this pathway through your inner self to tap into you, the authentic you. I'm glad it was amazing. You are so welcome. It was amazing for me too. My expectation, truly, the intention of my expectation was far beyond that. I have to say thank you for letting me be open to the divine, to be open to you. Thank you so much. Thank you to our special guests, our luminous guest, Marcus Christolight Robbins. Da 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 da! Rah, rah. And I'd like you to know that Marcus is the Sacred Light Productions for Soul Awakening podcast. We need to do guests.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to be a guest? Or you can DM Marcus if it's easier to contact him. He'll let me know.
That's right. That's right.
Growth and expansion, we're all going through that, Lizzie. Much work for us to do. Most of my shadow work has been done on other people's lives. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. I feel that.
I am so thankful and grateful that you were part of Soul Awakening podcast. I hope you join me next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure, but we might talk just a little bit more about universal laws and just a little bit. I'm not yet profound in numerology, but we might just hit on that a little bit, because that's another vibrational way that our throat chakra speaks.
Yes.
All right. And guess who I'm going to invite back for that if he's available? You got it. Christolight.
Uh-oh.
If he's available, I'm openly inviting him back. I don't know if it'll be a 3-hour one, but I'm inviting him back.
I'll be available.
All right. So everyone, be well, balanced, and wholeness, unconditional love to you today. Be the co-creator that you were meant to be. Speak your truth. Open your heart. One love. Peace.
Ooh. Thank you. For everybody out there as well, I just want to let you know that I do have some retreats coming up. If you're looking for holistic, safe retreats that have no alcohol and no drugs, family friendly for children, holistic, conscious, live music, homemade, all meals provided, camping out here in Ohio and some other places. You guys can reach out to me at any time. You guys can find me through Facebook, Christolight Robbins, as well as IG, SacredLight33. Just reach out anytime, and I'd love to see you guys at some of these wonderful retreats that I'm hosting. And thank you, Sandy, for having me. One love.
One love. Bye.
Our founder claims, this right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with Christolight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe.